Big news, medieval games fans. We've got a stacked list of the most ambitious medieval games coming in 2026 and beyond. From RPGs and management games to open worlds and the undead plagues, here are 10 upcoming medieval games you need to know about. First on the list we have Half Sword, a game I like to describe as QWOP-like if you remember that old janky running game from the late 2000s. Now Half Sword is definitely a bit less jank, but a whole lot more action-packed, making for one of the wackiest games I've played in a long time. Half Sword is a physics-based medieval combat simulator featuring historically accurate 15th century arms and armor. The game is not afraid to show the brutal nature of medieval combat with in-depth blood and gore features. I have a feeling a lot of you have probably heard of this game already. It's been relatively popular in its demo form the past couple years, and it's nice to see how it's changed and upgraded over time. Expected to release Q1 2026. I'm not sure how it's going to hold up in terms of longevity, but its arcade-style gameplay feels like it's built to have some type of PvP-style gameplay. And from what I've heard, local multiplayer is in the works and single player is currently its priority. So I guess we'll see how it all plays out on release. Second on the list, we have 1348 Ex Voto, a cinematic third-person RPG set in a plague-ridden 14th century Italy, where a knight-errant fights through political chaos and brutal combat to save the one person she has left. Set in a world torn apart by war, faith, and plague, this game throws you into a dangerous world where every road feels hostile. Its cinematic, HEMA-inspired combat lets you switch stances and learn real techniques that are helping you outwit your opponents. I watched this game get announced at the Future Game Show, and my first impressions were and still are pretty positive, but I'm a bit skeptical. The dark tones and cinematic vibes are spot on, but from what I've seen from the little gameplay we have, I'm hoping it ends up being more than just slapping the Souls-like combat on top of it and calling it a day. The devs behind this game come from a wide variety of industry vets, so that makes me feel better about the situation, but I really need to see more gameplay before I reach a consensus. 1348 Ex Voto is expected to release early 2026 on PC, PS5, and Xbox. Next up, we have Anvil Empires, a massively multiplayer strategy sandbox where thousands of players unite to build empires, wage war, and leave their mark on a living, persistent world. The idea that Anvil Empires is selling that really draws me to the game is that while you're in a persistent world with other players, you can really do whatever you want to do. If you want to build your own homestead, if you want to contribute to a village, if you want to gear up and participate in sieges, there really seems like there's a gameplay style for anyone. I'm hoping this turns out to be more than just an isometric rust though. Anvil Empires is a massively collaborative world where players start small camps and grow them into shared towns, while farming, hunting, and trading to fuel an ongoing war. And I imagine this could make for some amazing stories and adventures. No release date on Anvil Empires yet, but they do open playtests every once in a while, so keep an eye out on their Steam page for more information. Now, meshing the medieval and the undead, we have God Save Birmingham, a zombie apocalypse survival game set in 14th century England where a strange plague has swept the countryside, turning the peasants and the townsfolk into the walking dead. You stand alone, armed with nothing but your wits and whatever you can scavenge from the ruins of your home. To survive, you're going to need to build, craft, and forage. You'll be able to stack furniture to barricade doors, leap fences to outmaneuver your foes, and hack at limbs to slow the undead. Every action in this game uses physics-based mechanics that reward creativity and quick thinking. And the devs have gone out on a limb in saying this is highly inspired by Project Zomboid, so that makes me hopeful considering the intricacies of the systems of the game like that, but now at a medieval third-person perspective. In this game, you'll explore a faithfully reconstructed medieval Birmingham in all of its bubonic glory, scavenge the markets, the burgage plots, or the Church of St. Martin in the Bull Ring, raid smithies for tools, search taverns for food, and carve out a brief, desperate existence amid the plagued hordes of undead. This game recently wrapped up its pre-alpha playtest, and while no release date has been confirmed yet, this one is easily shaping up to be one of my most anticipated titles on the horizon. Regardless, God Save Birmingham is expected to release in early access 2026 on PC, with an Xbox and PS5 release following suit later. Next on the list, we have Chronicles Medieval. Chronicles Medieval drops you into a brutal medieval sandbox where you start with nothing and fight through skirmishes, battles, and full-scale sieges. During this, you'll also be building and defending your own castles, while the decisions you make echo through history. Not a whole lot of gameplay has been shown yet, so I really can't comment on much, though there is one clip we've seen so far that does show a promising scene of your character on a horse, riding between your soldiers as battalions of soldiers approach you head-on. I think it'll be interesting to see how we start from the ground level, engaging in skirmishes, dabbling in trades and economics, raiding some caravans, and of course fighting some large-scale battles. Being built in Unreal 5, Chronicles Medieval promises to deliver a stunning, evolving recreation of medieval Europe, one shaped by its community, allowing for dynamic and immersive storytelling. The game is expected to enter early access in 2026 on PC, with Xbox and PS5 releases following suit later. Up next, embrace Viking life and earn Valhalla's blessing in Viking Dynasty, where you'll survive in harsh Norse environments and praise the gods. Become a Jarl, control every aspect of your village and protect your community at all costs, while customizing your ships and exploring the fjords in an unforgiving world. Topless Productions has been working on this game for a while with digital daredevils, and it looks like a more polished Dynasty game than many of the previous. I'm not sure if it'll be to the level of Medieval Dynasty. Graphically, it looks good, some of the animations look a little stiff, and I'm hoping they implement co-op in the future. It looks like we can expect shipbuilding, settlement, and village management, and many of the systems expected in a survival crafting game. No definitive release date yet, but it is expected to release sometime in 2026 on PC. Alright, this next game may be the odd one out on the list as it's not authentically medieval, but the spectrum of medieval games is vast, and I was really impressed with what I saw from Solasta 2 at the Game Awards. Solasta 2 is a tactical RPG faithful to the world's most popular tabletop RPG rule set. Create and guide your party of 4 adventurers as they head to the faraway continent in a quest driven by their family legacy. Solasta 2 stays true to its tabletop roots, delivering classic tabletop RPG gameplay with prepared spells, sneak attacks, and dice-driven combat that feels instantly familiar. You're free to explore the world however you want, but your choices do matter, and the dice still decide your destiny. The demo for this game is available on Steam right now, and as someone who hasn't played the first Solasta, I think I'm gonna go revisit the old title before playing Solasta 2, which is expected to release in early access on PC March 12, 2026, and on PS5 and Xbox on its 1.0 release later. Next on the list, we have Kingmakers, where you're the last hope in a dying modern world. To save it, you're gonna have to go back 500 years to medieval England. This game really reminds me of an old game with Jack Black called Brutal Legend, but instead of guitars and rock music, it's RPGs and machine guns. Kingmakers blends medieval warfare with modern firepower in one of the wildest strategy and action hybrids I've ever seen. Every battle unfolds as a fully simulated real-time war, with thousands of soldiers fighting at once. Each unit is driven by their own AI, making independent decisions about loyalty, positioning, and combat. Using your advanced tech weapons, mow down charging knights, call in airstrikes, or roll across the plains in an armored SUV. Use shotguns, grenade launchers, bikes, even helicopters to rewrite history in your favor. And you don't have to face it alone. Team up with up to 4 players in online co-op to storm enemy fortresses or hold the line against massive sieges. Coordinate assaults, share resources, and turn the tides together. And at any time, seamlessly switch between commanding your army and fighting on the front lines yourself. Build fortifications, position archers and cavalry, and issue real-time orders, or just charge straight into the melee and make the difference personally. Originally planned for an October 2025 release, Kingmakers was delayed, but all signs point towards a launch in 2026. Give the devs time to cook, because this one looks like it's going to be special. Coming in at number 9, we have Tears of Metal, a medieval hack-and-slash co-op roguelike akin to the likes of Braveheart and the Dynasty Warriors franchise. Carve through hordes of enemies to reclaim your island with the help of your formidable Scottish battalion. As you advance deeper into the trenches, you'll uncover more about the mysterious dragon meteor and the treacherous enemy invasion. Build devastating loadouts by combining powerful upgrades with over 100 artifacts, choose from multiple playable heroes, and unleash high-impact frontline combat. Between campaigns, you'll permanently upgrade soldiers and expand your settlement to unlock new shops, challenges, and playstyles. Play solo or co-op across dozens of handcrafted battlefields, unlocking brand new characters, artifacts, and secrets along the way. One thing I'm starting to appreciate more about games are their stylized graphics. It's honestly a nice change of pace because a lot of games are looking samey these days, making Tears of Metal really stand out to me. Also, the demo is available right now on Steam and is a whole lot of fun, especially if you like the hack and slash genre. Tears of Metal is expected to release on PC in Q1 of 2026. And of course, I gotta have a few special mentions that I feel like didn't make the list, but deserve a little bit of attention. In quickfire fashion, we have Alkahest, an action-adventure RPG set in a murky medieval world that replaces magic with alchemy, and focuses on satisfying melee combat with a highly interactive environment. No release date yet on this one, but expect to explore realistic locations, learn alchemy, and make a name for your family. Next up, Papers, Please plus the Medieval come together in Gate Guard Simulator. Step into the boots of a castle guard and inspect seals, expose smugglers, and reveal witches. You decide who enters and who's turned away. It looks like a silly little indie game, but I love the vision, so I'm totally gonna check it out. Remakes are back in season with this cult classic RPG, Gothic 1. Explore a handcrafted, organic open world that reacts dynamically to your actions. Whether you're a seasoned Gothic veteran or this is your first time being thrown into the colony, you're in for a true RPG experience with unrestricted exploration like no other. Expected to release on PC and consoles early 2026. The Guild Europa 1410 puts you at the head of a rising medieval dynasty where trade, crime, and politics are all weapons. You'll grow from a small workshop owner into a power broker by mastering professions, manipulating laws, bribing or blackmailing rivals, or even embracing crime and law enforcement alike. With fully simulated cities, generational consequences, and multiplayer for up to 12 players, it's a deep medieval sandbox where every alliance, betrayal, and decision shapes your dynasty's future. And the most anticipated game on the list for me has to be Blight Survival, a medieval extraction experience pitting you and up to 3 other players against mortals and monsters in a desperate attempt to reach and destroy the source of the Blight, a deadly affliction that plagues the land. The game takes place in the no man's land between 2 desperate kingdoms in a ceaseless war. Within this purgatory, a new strain of Blight has erupted from the remains of the fallen. Fed and strengthened by the blood that has been spilled, it rapidly spreads, turning man into monster. As the people bleed, paralyzed by war, they have to turn to you and your kin to venture forth and eradicate the all-consuming blight. The game challenges you to make high-risk decisions about when to extract or push forward, backed by a deep but approachable directional combat system. With flexible builds in a decaying medieval world full of secrets, it rewards both skill and exploration. Picked up by the devs behind Dead by Daylight, I'm really hoping we see some form of major progress soon though, because it sounds like a really cool spin for the genre. If this helped you find some cool medieval games to keep on your radar, be sure to pay that king's tax of 1 like or 1 sub, and check out the video on the screen here. But until next time y'all, thanks for watching, and take care.